What is going on, guys? It's Dan here from the Wolfpack, coming to you after Wolves winning Fulham 4-1 at Craven Cottage. Absolute Cunha masterclass. Stick around, see you in just a sec. I'll tell you what, guys, this is not a result I was expecting today. This was not a result I was expecting before seeing the team sheet. And after seeing the team sheet, it did not fill me with any hope whatsoever. I thought we were going to get fairly beaten today, like comfortably beaten. And it was anything but that. I'm going to talk all about it, so stick around. Please, if you could, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss future videos from us. I'm really glad. Obviously, we've back. We've two times we've been back now. We've won 2 games, so we're not going anywhere ever again, I don't think. But yes, guys, what a result this has been. I struggle to even know where to start because it really was a good game. Like from the off, I thought Wolves looked really bright today. I thought Gary and the team have obviously been working really hard on nullifying what is a very good Fulham side. Let's not get it mistaken. Fulham are comfortably in that top half of the table this season. They've made players, Marcus Silva's made some players that were pretty much down and out look fantastic. And yeah, going into this game, it just was not one of those games where I really favoured Wolves at all, really. So to comfortably win this game is a massive shock. And if anyone's saying it's not, then you're genuinely lying to yourself. This is an awesome win for Wolves, by the way. Every win's great. But straight after an international break, after already, getting your first win at home at Molineux, then going to Craven Cottage, getting a win again. But not just getting a win. Now, the difference is, guys, I'm going to talk about, obviously, everything, player scores, how we lined up, and the goals, and, my opinion of the match and everything. But this is an important game, this is. This feels a little bit like one of those games that, a bit like Man City last season, where we get a win, and then we really start to push on, and I hope that this is the direction we're going in, because the difference with this game and Southampton for me is that Wolves looked confident in the game plan. Wolves looked very much, even when we went 1-0 down, I thought we still stuck to the plan. And, with players in positions that they're not sure about, really showed a good showing out there today. And we're going to talk all about it. So what we'll do is first, we'll look at some stats. So, obviously, you can see here 4-1 to Wolves. Here's all the goal scorers. Let's just look at the lineup. Let's look at the lineup and see how Wolves lined up today. So, you heard me saying earlier, obviously, some players played out of position today in positions that they are very much not used to. And there's definitely some there glaring ones that you can see. Mainly the one being Lemina at centre-back. And I will talk about players in general at the end when we do our player scores. But I do want to just say that Lemina fitting into that centre-back role after Dawson and Santi are no-shows and performing as well as he did is it really should not be, glossed over, because I feel like with that performance Cunha put in and some of the performances that we saw from other players, Lemina might get swept under the rug a little bit in this one, and you really need to understand that was a very good performance. At the back in general, I thought Wolves in a back four, played really well. So yeah, that's obviously a little bit about Lemina's position. Let's talk about how we lined up. So we were back four: Semedo, Lemina, Totti Gomez, Ait-Nouri, and then in midfield 2 of João Gomez and Andre. We then had a front 3 of Bellegarde, Cunha, and Gomez, and Rodrigo Gomez, and that also meant that Strand Larsen was on his own as our number 9. And honestly, from the whistle, I'm genuine with this. That from the whistle, Wolves looked really good. We looked at it. We looked like we knew what the game plan was, and we knew how to execute it. And it was just about, pushing our luck a little bit, and riding the waves. Because inevitably the waves did come. Fulham are a good team. Raul Jimenez, absolute legend for Wolves. Actually hits the post, and he probably should have finished it really, but I'm glad he didn't. And then really from there, it was very much a game of chess. It's very much two teams in the same sort of formation, trying to find one another out, and it was very entertaining, back and forth. But I thought that Wolves stuck to the game plan a lot more than Fulham. I feel like Fulham started to sort of do things that Marcus Silva really wasn't really asking for, and ultimately that is where the goal come from for them. So their first goal came from Iwobi. Their only goal came from Iwobi, and honestly, it was a good goal. To be fair, we've definitely got to close them down. We've seen us being punished by these goals a good few times, and this was one of those really where you've got to close the man down, and stop the shot at source, and we didn't, and it was a good finish. Jose Sarr really couldn't do a lot. He dived the right way, but he was absolutely nowhere near it. It's a good finish. And you're thinking, well, you know what? We've played quite well up to that point. So I thought, you know what? As long as Wolves keep doing the same thing, banging on the door, involving players like Rodrigo Gomez out wide and stretching the play a little bit, making it really uncomfortable for Fulham to find some momentum. And I think that's exactly what happened. We started to see the tide turn into Wolves' favour, and obviously we did ride our luck a little bit, but you know what? You buy your own luck. We've said this thousands of times on this channel. You buy your own luck, and eventually, luck had nothing to do with Cunha's first goal. Lamina does a lovely pass, and it goes all the way over the Fulham defence. And Cunha's still got loads to do, by the way. He manages to not only control it from a dodgy angle from over his shoulder, but he manages also to keep the ball in front of him instead of it going behind him by controlling it on his knee. And then not only just does he think, oh, I'm going to slot that under the goalkeeper, he thinks, you know what, I'm going to do one more. He's going to expect that. So I'm going to loop it over the goalkeeper. And Leno had absolutely no chance. He was the only bloke on the pitch, Cunha, there, that knew where that ball was going to end up, because no one, and myself included, would have ever expected that finish from where he was, and that's ultimately what threw Leno off, and then it's 1-1 Wolves. We go into half time, and I felt that we were probably the better side. If you look at the stats for the first half, it's very even on ball possession, and their expected goals are more than us, and everything pretty much is. It screams a draw, really, pretty much. But if you actually watch the game, I thought that because Wolves developed from the game plan, from the whistle, it was just a matter of time before we managed to capitalise, because we were really, really, passing the ball well, keeping the ball well, defended really, really well today, by the way, with a makeshift defence. I'm really, really proud of our defensive line. And if it weren't for that Iwobi screamer, that we probably on the, adding the two halves together, we probably deserved a clean sheet, to be fair. But it is what it is. You're gonna concede to those sort of goals sometimes. And yeah, so it went in 1-1, and in the second half, even though you look at this, they've got 66% possession. Our expected goals were much higher than theirs this time. Total shots on total shots 7 to their 5. We started to develop some big chances and everything, and that's what led to a domination. If I'm honest, it was a domination. So we eventually get a second goal in the 53rd minute from João Gomez, and it's a lovely bit of build-up play between some Wolves players. Ends up on Cunha's foot, and it's a really intelligent pass to find João Gomez in space, and he doesn't mess about. You know what I mean? He just hits it hard and low, and it ends up in the net, and it's 2-1 then. And you're thinking, you know what? Hold on to this now, because how many times have Wolves been ahead in a game and just not finished teams off? And this felt to me like they were hungry. They were hungry for this win, and it showed. It showed on so many players, and eventually, Cunha gets a goal to sort of basically kill off the game. Just before this, though, Fulham do go down to 10 men because, what was his name? I'm sorry about this. Anderson went down injured, and obviously because Marco Silva had used all his substitutions, they couldn't substitute anyone else off, so they were down to 10 men. And this obviously, you know, meant trouble for Fulham. But you know what? The fair play to Fulham, they made some changes just before that happened, and they did look fairly positive. But again, Wolves didn't falter or change from what they were trying to do the whole game. And I think that's basically what we've been guilty of. Quite a few times I think we've been guilty of being ahead in a game and not killing the game out, not killing it off, not seeing a game out, sorry. And basically, losing points in the process. And today we really didn't do that at all, because eventually Cunha gets his second goal in the 87th minute, like I was just about to say. It's then 3-1, and what a goal by Cunha. The first goal was an absolute cracker, but this second goal, it has to be the goal of the season from the Wolves' perspective for me. Just because of the level of skill and technique from Cunha to be able to pull that off. Because he gets into some space. He managed to do, some really good hold-up play to give it to João Gomez. João Gomez then gives it back to Cunha. Cunha doesn't even think about it. He doesn't even think. He just takes a shot that takes everybody by surprise. I always think that a player's going to take a touch when they do that. He doesn't do that, and it sails directly into the top bins. It is an absolute beauty. It's the cleanest hit I've seen us score a goal, probably since Neves, to be fair. Since Neves left. Because the goals that we've been scoring recently, they've been crackers. They've been really good goals. I mean, Cunha scored a really good goal away against Southampton, at home at Southampton. But this is even cleaner. The connection that he gets, I mean, it's just, you can't save those. They could be the best goalkeeper in the world. When it comes at you with that much pace and that much movement, it's just impossible to predict where it's going, and it's straight into the top corner. What a goal. And then it's 3-1, and Fulham, they fair play to them. They do keep going, and it does allow Wolves to soak up some pressure. Gary makes some good changes, to be fair, on some tired legs. And one of those being sorry, God, I'm losing my mind here. Guedes manages to get one right at the end. He comes on. It's a good bit of play on a break from Lemina. Puts it into Strand Larsen. Strand Larsen runs with it quite a bit, and it's intelligent run really from Guedes, because he doesn't run with Strand Larsen. He tries to get wide to sort of spread the defence out a little bit, and because of that, he manages to get a fairly easy finish. But he's still got to, he's still got to make contact with the ball. He's still got to be in the area. Still got to be hungry enough to be in that area in the first place. Really, really good to see that was, and that really was the icing on the cake. I'm really happy that Traore didn't get a goal. I'm really happy Raul didn't get a goal. Not for the sake of me not liking them as players or people, but just because I don't like when players score goals against former teams. I don't know. It's like when Neto scored against Wolves. or at least assisted against Wolves, didn't he, in one of his first games? And he celebrated like he was like won the lottery, and it's just I don't know. I just don't like it. I've never been a fan of it. I think it always just shows a bit of unprofessionalism, and who knows, Raul might have not done that. Traore might not have done that either. But it's better to not see basically. So yeah, ended Wolves 4, Fulham 1, and honestly, it was the game plan. It was the game plan today, because I think it sort of threw Fulham through a loop a little bit. I think they expected us to play a back five straight away. I think they expected us to have certain personnel on the pitch, and that kind of threw him through a loop a little bit. And to be fair to Gary O'Neill's come under a lot of scrutiny recently, and rightly so. We haven't won a game in forever before Southampton. He's come under some scrutiny. You've got to say credit where it's due. He got it right today from the off. The game plan was spot on. The team, was spot on that he chose. A lot of us at the Wolfpack chat were looking at that lineup and just thinking, what the hell is he doing? But turned out it was a masterclass, because Lemina's a fantastic centre-back, which I never expected. But there you go. Really, really, really good today, guys. I'm really, really impressed with everybody on the pitch. But let's talk about that more in depth. Let's talk about player scores and my man of the match. Sarr did really well when he was called upon. Made some intelligent sort of forages out of his goal that he often does, but he always gets sort of scrutinised. Like I was saying about O'Neill, really, he gets scrutinised quite a lot. Sarr does for doing, being a bit of a hothead and getting off his line and creating chaos basically. But I thought that he controlled that really well today, and actually at sometimes I feel like he was absolutely needed in those situations. Kept a cool head. Distribution was better today. Really, really good. Totti Gomez, I don't know why he's got 6.8. I think I would probably give him a 7. I think everyone in our team today deserved at least a 7. I think Totti Gomez did well, considering, he doesn't really like playing in a back four. And definitely with Lemina next to him, obviously he's used to having Dawson next to him, screaming at him and getting him, keeping him in position. He's used to having Santi Bueno, and he's used to having obviously Ait-Nouri being further back to help him out should he get into situations. And I thought, credit where it's due. Totti Gomez today did the dirty work nicely. Got rid of the ball instead of pissing about on the ball too much, and that was good. For Ait-Nouri and Semedo, I'm going to talk about both of them because I think they both did a stellar job at making it really hard for Tete and Robinson, because they were very much, Bellegarde and Semedo were very much 1-on-1, 1v1 in, one touch passing to get through that one side, and Rodrigo Gomez and Ait-Nouri exactly the same. And basically what that led to was just the defenders not really knowing what was going on and who to mark, and it really, really upset their back line. So both of them fantastic. And when they were called upon for defence as well, I thought today Semedo and Ait-Nouri got back and really did the dirty work, and that's really what's needed when you're playing fullbacks. I thought João Gomes today showed more of what he's about. More of a box-to-box midfielder. Let Andre do more of the things that we've seen from João Gomez countless amounts of times. I think it was nice to see him get forward a little bit more. Obviously, that's where the goal came from. That's where the assists come from. And he was a bit of a nightmare, really. He made their midfield at some times look extremely ordinary. Thought Andre did the same. I think they made Pereira and Lukic very, very uncomfortable. Emil Smith-Rowe, by the way, I think that's the worst I've seen him since he's joined Fulham. He was awful. Absolutely awful. And I think that's down to the fact that our midfield was all over him, swarming him as soon as he got to the ball, and Cunha just made him look like a champ. Well, not even like a footballer that plays in the bloody first division. It was really, really weird, because Smith-Rowe is a cracking player, and I would have loved him at Wolves. But I tell you what, If you offer me Cunha or Smith Rowe, I'm taking Cunha every single day of the week. Fantastic from Cunha. Let's talk about the main man himself, Cunha. He's got a 10 for me today. What more do you have to do? The only way he'd have got a 10, I'm assuming, if he got 3 goals. But he got 2 goals and an assist. He was all over the pitch. He was doing all the defensive stuff that he was asked of him. Delivering in good corners, creating chaos all the time. Just an unreal player. And today's performance reminded me a little bit of when we played Chelsea away last season, and you just saw a guy that is he just eats up confidence, and he just gets better and better the more and more confident he is. And for me, that's kind of like I know Hwang didn't even barely play, but that's kind of what the opposite effect is with Hwang, is that he eats up the negative performances. Whereas Cunha eats up the positive ones, and the negative ones kind of stay in the back of his mind, and he starts to learn from them. I really want to see more from Hwang when now he's back fit, and we did see a few minutes of his. But I thought I'd talk about that him and Cunha and him, because I feel like they're doing things in a very different way, and their mindsets are very different. So I think he's got to take a leaf out of Cunha's book, and maybe a lot of players do, and maybe that's why a lot of players are looking, better, like Bellegarde today. I actually thought Bellegarde probably one of his best performances. He looked really, really, really good. I don't know how Rodrigo Gomez has got 6.7, by the way. I think, in my opinion, he was probably my 3rd best player today. I thought he was awesome. He fought for every single ball. Even when, it looked completely against him, that he'd even be able to win the ball. I thought he really controlled that side really well. Was really positive going forward. And I really struggle to work out why he's got a 6.7, if I'm honest. Because the first start in the Premier League for a very long time, we've good players on the bench and in his stead. So he had a lot to prove, and I'm sure, to be fair, that's what we saw of him. I've wanted to see a lot more of Rodrigo Gomez. I thought he was our best player in the pre-season. So, yeah, man, great performances from Bellegarde and Rodrigo Gomez. Strand Larsen today, I know a lot of people give him stick for things and stuff, but he just does the stuff that we haven't had since Jimenez. He does the really, really tiresome number 9 stuff that it goes unnoticed. He's like an unsung hero because he gets the goals every now and then. But the thing that I love about him is he holds the ball up really well. He plays other players into it. He's not a jealous player. He's not in it he doesn't get envious of other people. He's very much a very grounded number 9, and I feel like the goals will start coming with him soon, because there was a few times where he was in good positions and a better pass. He could have scored a couple of goals today, and obviously he got an assist as well. So really, really good performance from him. But yeah, my man of the match, guys, and it's not even close, is Cunha. Just unreal. Look, actually unreal today. I don't know how you get a 10 if you don't get a 10 for the way he performed. He was the best player on the pitch by absolute miles, and I'd be very surprised to see him stay after, for next season, even if we do stay up. I see a player there that could fit into most teams. He's just an all-round 10, all-around number 10. But yes, guys, that was the match review. 4-1 win against Fulham. Let me know what you thought of the game, guys. Let me know. Obviously, if I'm talking shit, let me know about that as well. Need all the feedback we can get on. I take it all. Constructive criticism for me is a very good good thing, and I learn from it. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the game, and if you were there today, let me know what it was like. I'm really, really angsty to go to an away game soon. It's been one of those things where I've not had the time and I've not had the funds to really be able to do it, but I'm really, really tempted to do it soon. And yeah, mate, what a win! What a win! It puts Wolves in a very good position. We are off the bottom of the table. Let's look at that actually, just while I'm thinking about it, guys. Let's look at this table. Looks a little bit better now. So if you look at the table now, Wolves are out of that bottom three, guys. Palace got a draw today against Villa, so thanks for that, Villa. Leicester lost. Everton drew. Obviously the amazing thing is that Ipswich and Southampton both have very hard games. So hopefully Liverpool and Man United do us a favour, and we could go into the next fixtures, out of that bottom three, and I think that'd be really good for the players. I think that'd be really good for the fans, obviously. The fans with today, by the way, I could only see him on the TV, but they sounded absolutely awesome today. So fair play if you were at London today in the rain and you supported the team to that ability, because so good. So good. Fair play, guys. Anyway, if you enjoyed that, guys, like I said earlier, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And I'll see you guys on the next one in a bit.